Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Mukluk Streams. I'm your charming, self-proclaimed, yet still humble host, Mukluk, and today it is storming really bad. I started the stream, and a minute later we had like a power surge. It's like pouring down rain outside, and my lights all went out, including the ring light that is pointed at my face. Like, this is what I look like with the ring light off, by the way. This is why we have a ring light. The ring light was pointing at my face, and it reset the settings on it, so all of a sudden it was like a spotlight. I was like, ah! And then I got up to get a drink, and then I looked in the fridge and the light was off. I was like, oh, the breaker tripped. So I go to the circuit breakers, and there were 5 breakers tripped. And I'm like, okay. So I fixed all of those so that our food didn't spoil. Then I got my drink, and I came back in here, got hit with the spotlight, fixed that. And then there was another power surge, but the breaker in here stayed fine, so it didn't affect this room. And then I had to fix that. So yeah, well, I'm here if nature allows me to stream today, chat. We'll see what happens. Muk, you seem to have forgotten the
Mukluk, hi, Mukluk, love,
Wait,
Mukluk, love, Mukluk, feels good.
Did it get reset too? I don't know. Hang on a sec. Thank you. Alright, it should be good now. Appreciate that. I didn't even know you could stream without a category. You're just streaming straight to the void. Okay. Alright, let's talk about Last Epoch. Now, Last Epoch, we have played through the story of the game before, and similar to games like Diablo and Path of Exile, you do have to get through the story before you can kind of do the endgame stuff. I am currently in the middle of that story. I played a little bit of it today off stream. Currently, the build, it's mainly summoning and curses. So we have got the Ray Skeletons. I took some advice from chat from yesterday and got the fire arrows. So we've got a bunch of skeletons that shoot flaming arrows with the, like, archers. Got the curse. The curse gives, notably, any enemy who is got this curse on them and anything that hits them will trigger 42 damage, which adds up really fast when all my minions are hitting something. Also, it has a chance to put a debuff on the enemy's armor and a bleed on the enemy's armor. So by throwing this curse on them, while they're getting hit by a storm of minions, a whole lot of good stuff happens. Did get the blood golem, so my golems are now blood golems, so they heal me a little while they're attacking, which is awesome. And I started leveling up Amalgam of Primalists, which makes the golem give armor to itself and the other minions to make them a little tougher. We did unlock Summon Skeletal Mage, so I've got that on the bar, so you can see up here on the top we've got 3 mages, 1 skeleton warrior, 6 skeleton archers, 3 with spears, and the golems. That's us right now. And now we're just continuing off. Oh, one more cool thing that happened. I got this really cool ring yesterday, which is, +1 to all minion skills, plus 200% minion health. Crazy thing. Wild that I got this, right? So lucky. I got it twice, and the second time I got it, it has +2 to all minion skills. So I'm on a pretty low-level character with +3 to all skills, which is, it feels like cheating, honestly. It feels like cheating. I also got a set item belt of some sort that has plus minion damage on it, so that's helping a little bit. So we've gotten really lucky with getting drops that are related to our build. So that's going great right now. But yeah, most of the time I can get by using 2 buttons. One to curse enemies and the other to remote control the minions. By using the A key, I can control the horde, as you can see here. So by using curse and the remote control, I can get them to hit the most dangerous enemy on the field. Or if I want them to just hit whatever, then I just stop hitting buttons and let them run wild. So it just depends on what we need. I just raised my hand on the Coalescence guide, and Desmag, you had to say 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10? What? Oh, oh, you mean, dude, I'm sorry. I made that guide years ago. I'm sitting here like, what is he talking about? Yeah, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I did make that joke. Is this the game where you had to summon magic Roombas of Death? Roombas of Death. I think that was Path of Exile. It doesn't ring a bell immediately. Floodlight on Muck's face, the torch is lit, Gondor calls for aid, right? Yeah, I'll see how it goes. But if the stream suddenly crashes, give me a couple of minutes. I'll try to reconnect because the weather. But if not, well, that's unfortunate. Life happens sometimes, but I will try. For anyone who didn't see it, I had the privilege of unveiling a project today that I was commissioned to do. I could talk about that for a few minutes. I think I might do a director's cut video on that for Patreon. Stream still counts, exactly. So, for those who didn't see it, I'll just take it from the top. A while back, ArenaNet contacted me, and they're like, hey, we're contacting you and some other partners. And they didn't tell me who else they were contacting. And they said, we would like to sponsor you to do a video. And what they told me was, we want you to make something that hypes people up for spears. And I was like, okay. What are the parameters? Like, what do you need? Usually a company will be like, make a normal video, but have a 60-second ad at the beginning of the video, or the end of the video, or in the middle of the video, or they'll be like, or something like that. And so I asked them, I was like, what are the parameters? Time, length of video, what the percentage of the video for your product. I assume it needs to be PG rated, which I always am, so I don't really have to ask that. Does it, are like memes and stuff off the table? Like, for example, I once made a guide to Cairn, and in it was a joke that involved Dragon Ball Z to make the joke, and they would not retweet that guide because it touched like another franchise. So they said, jokes and stuff are fine, we like your sense of humor, but don't include anything from other, franchises. Otherwise, we can't use it. They also said it needs to be 1 to 2 minutes long, and just the whole video. So it's not like a 10-minute video with an ad in it. It's a 1 to 2 minute video, and the whole thing is what they're sponsoring me for. And I was like, okay, yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to work with you guys. And honestly, guys, I was just starstruck at the chance to do something for ArenaNet, which is, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's the truth. And at first, they were like, we would pay you for your work. They said that. And I was thinking, 1 to 2 minute video, usually I'm asked to do like 10-minute videos or 2-hour streams. A 1 to 2 minute video, like, yeah, it would take me some work, but I was like, I in my mind, I was like, I'd rather have goodwill toward ArenaNet, and have them like me more. So I was like, look, I would love to work with you guys. I can do this. I have some ideas. Dude, I'll do this for free. I was like, 1 to 2 minute video, I'll do this for free. And I'm just excited to get to work with you guys. And they were like, we're going to pay you. I was like, and it was funny because my wife, I told my wife, I was like, I get to work with ArenaNet. And she's like, oh, cool. Are they going to pay you? I'm like, no, I told them it's fine. And she's like, what? And she's like, value yourself, idiot. And I'm like, no, but it's ArenaNet, it's fine. And she's like, slapped me upside the head. And then they were like, no, we're going to pay you. And I was just like, okay, well, my wife will be happy, so I'm not going to argue this any further than this. So, yeah, after that. So I got the sponsor. And I was like, okay. So, well, I recorded some footage of the Spear beta. I was like, I recorded some footage of the Spears beta, but I'm going to need more unless you would like me to just use the footage from the trailers that you guys did, where you showcased the different classes and the sneak peeks. I was like, I could totally do that, but unless that, if you don't want that, I don't know how I'm supposed to get more Spear footage. And she's like, okay, we can get you access to our stage server, which for anyone who saw Laura's recent video, it's the same server where she was able to run around in the homestead. And they said, and you would have access to, Janthier as it is now, which is unfinished, because that's not the same as the development server, but they said you could run around on there and do what you need to do. And I was like, okay. And they send me it, and this is where it gets kind of funny. They send me the thing, and they're like, all right, so I was like, how do I access the stage server? And she's like, you've never been on the stage server? And I was like, no. And she's like, all right, here. She sends me a link. And she's like, and it's like, basically, it's like downloading Guild Wars 2. And so I had to download, like 150 gigs. It was such a big download. Dude, I had that running for a day. And I was like, okay. So I downloaded that. And she's like, all right, here's your username and password. And it was just like randomly generated, just blah, it was this massive copy paste thing. So I hop on there. And on there is there's a max level character of every class. There's a max level Guardian, Warrior, etc. And they're all at the character select screen. They're all random races. So there's some Asura, some Sylvari, etc. And they are all in full legendary. They're all in full legendary chat. And I get on there, and I hop onto one of the characters, and it's like a warrior in full legendary, and he's got swords in his hand, and he has the legendary spear equipped on his underwater weapon. I go to equip the underwater spear in his hand, and it says, please unlock the Janthir Master Race. And I had to call him back. And I'm like, hey, yeah, I can't hold a spear. I was like, you guys forgot to give me access to the thing you hired me for. And they were like, whoops. All right, hang on. And I looked to see if I had like access to just go. I was like, do I need to go grind out this mastery? And you know, no, I didn't. The masteries weren't even there. So then like I click on the mastery and it pops up and it's like, please buy Janthir Wilds. And I'm like, buy Janthir? I'm on the state server. So you know, it's like when you have to do something in game and you're like, I want to glide, and it's like buy Heart of Thorns. Like that happened to me on their test server. I tried to equip a spear and it told me to buy Janthir. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I messaged them back, and we had a laugh about it. They're like, all right, sorry. And they give me this long code, and they're like, punch this in, and I punched it in, and then I could use spears. I'm like, all right, I'm good. And then I open up the map, and I see Janthir on the world map. And I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even think that I would see this. I just thought it'd be running around with spears. So I go to Janthir, and I start, I don't want a lot of spoilers, so I just go to a random waypoint. I try to find a random mob near me and start stabbing it with the spear and stuff like that. And I'm doing this stuff, and I go to use the waypoint chat, and it's like, you don't have any money. And I'm like, what? Waypoints cost like 3 silver. Chat, I had 0. I was on an account with full legendaries, and I didn't have a copper. And I'm like, oh my god! And I hated having to call them, because it would take, because of the time change and stuff, it would be like, you know, I leave a message for them, and then like a day later, they leave a message for thee, and we were on a schedule, chat. So I started digging through my bags, and there was like feasts and sharpening stones, and I just went to some random merchant, and I'm like, yo, here's a 250 sharpening stones. And the merchant's like, best I can do is 5 silver. And I'm like, I'll take it. So I'm selling like stacks of like raid materials for pennies to be able to move around, because I'm just so poor. And then I'm doing that, and I get around, and then I get the idea. I'm like, I'm going to make the characters look like other content creators. And real quick, before I give any away, did any of y'all spot any of them? It was like, it's just a fun Easter egg I decided to do. I was like, I'm gonna change the characters to look like content creators. And I found in one of the characters, there was like 2 identity repair kits. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna use Lord Hyzen was one. Saw Noxie. Yep, Noxie was one. I made the Mesmer look like Noxie because the Mesmer was already a female Asura. And I think the human male guardian. I made that one look like Hyzen. So I used the identity repair kits on a couple of the characters, and then I started getting really into the idea. And I was like, oh, okay, I need more. And then I realized I was out of identity repair kits. I'm like, crap. Okay, I'll delete a character, and then I'll just make a new one, because I have a boost in my bag. I'll boost it, and then the legendary armor will carry over. It'll take a few minutes, and then I can make the new character look like. And at that point, I was at Noxie. And I realized Noxie's freaking hairstyle is like special, and it's not at character creation. And I had to have an identity repair kit to make a Noxie. And I was like, crap. And at that point, I was like, shoot, I should have, if I had realized that, I would have not done it on the other one. So I contact ArenaNet, and I'm like, hey. And they're like, hey, do you need anything? I'm like, yeah, listen, this is not required, but I was trying to do something fun and make the characters look like other people that are content creators that I like. And I was like, just like an Easter egg, it's just for fun. And I said, however, I need some identity repair kits. Would it be possible to get some of those? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that. Hold on, I'm gonna contact Billy, and we'll get you those. I'm like, cool, thanks. And like a day goes by, and then I reach out to my contact again, and I was like, hey, just checking in. I still haven't gotten them. And they're like, you didn't receive those? Billy said he sent them. And I'm like,
2 years. Just
and I log
keep
in.
taking my money, please.
Thank you, sysadmin. I log in, and I was like, I don't know where to look, but I checked every character's bags, I checked the bank, and I checked the mail, and there's no identity repair kit. And they're like, hang on, I'm gonna go yell at Billy. I'm like, okay. So they go yell at Billy again, I guess. And then I was like, hey, look, this is a really small thing, and I've already taken care of it, but I'm letting you know the following for the future. And they're like, yeah, what's up? And I'm like, so, I didn't have any money. I was like, I couldn't use the waypoints, so unless you just wanted me to record everything standing in Divinity's Reach, I just sold a bunch of stuff to vendors to get a few pennies so I could travel around. And they were like, oh my god. And I got a mail on the test server, like immediately, and it said, I'm so sorry, and it had 200 gold. And I didn't even need it at that point. I was like, I just told you I fixed this. I sold a bunch of sharpening stones. I'm fine. I'm okay. I've got subway fare. Wait, so they sent me that, and I was laughing at that. And then a few minutes later, Billy contacts me because he's tired of getting yelled at by the other person. He's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey. And he's like, all right, I'm sending you this right now. Blip, did you get it? And I checked my mail. I was like, yes, I just got it. Thank you so much. And he's like, awesome. Let me know if you need anything else. I'm like, okay. And I didn't need anything else. So at this point, I finally had the ability to move the characters and make them look like how I wanted them to look. And then I just started porting them around, you know, and if you watch the video and like pause it a lot, you'll see I did one in the desert, I did one in a snowy area, I did one in Janthir, I did, you know, I basically just, I had the Necromancer in Ore because I thought that felt right. And dude, just some funny stuff, chat. I died like 5 times because I had my user interface turned off, right? So I couldn't see my health. On some cases, I was playing characters I was not familiar with, like the Elementalist. And I was using weapons I was not familiar with no HUD and no UI. And I was in combat and spinning the camera around like a lunatic trying to get schmexy camera angles. And then all of a sudden I would just die. And I'm like, oh, whoops, I guess my health hit 0. So there was multiple times that I had to like release and come back because I died. Is there a link for the video? Oh yeah, dude. Hang on just a second here. So this was the. You know what? Hold on. We'll watch it together. Guild Wars 2 is adding a new weapon type to its game. Why is this a big deal? How much change can we expect from swinging a pointy stick around? Well, in Guild Wars 2, the left half of your skills change based on the weapon in your hand and your profession. So, 2 warriors both holding a sword will have the same skills, but a warrior and an engineer holding a sword will be very different. Combine that with each of the 9 professions having 3 elite specializations each, and each of those having multiple builds, such as offensive support, DPS, healing, PvP, etc., and each of those builds having various flavors based on weapons, and the number of new builds this new weapon type will unlock are going to be immense. In terms of new skills, we are getting 9 classes, each getting 5 new weapon skills each, Elementalists getting 5 more for each of their 4 elements, added miscellaneous skills that flip, Thief and Untamed Ambushes, and we are looking at over 70 new skills coming to the game. Snowcrows told me it was 100 plus, but I did 70 plus just to be safe, because if I was wrong, I was gonna have to re-record the video. So, which one do you want to try first? So yeah, every character there was me running around on this Janthir server. And I did all the recording, and I did the storyboarding, and I told Noxie what I wanted, and once again, Noxie was able to take the idea that was in my head and make it appear in real life and also improve upon it. She did great. They did fantastic. Did Noxie get a raise? Noxie's gotten so many raises. Noxie makes more money than my YouTube makes. I operate my YouTube at a loss just to keep it looking real nice. But it was, that was the thing, is like, you know, a lot of people are like, Muk, what's the big project? What's the big project? I was like, dude, I don't even know if you're gonna think it's a big deal, but it was something I had the privilege of doing. And, you know, it's really cool, because, like, ArenaNet reached out to me, the company that, you know, make content for their game for so long, so it kind of just feels like you're getting recognized a little bit. So, you know, like, was it, Loranity did one, and Bloom did one, and I did this, and then, you know, basically through me, Noxie got to work with them as well, and then, what was the other one? Was it Wing? The, who was it who did the Warclaw video? Shoot, I'm having a brain fart. Hang on a sec, hold on. I've got them, Weeping Willow did the Warclaw one. So they got to do that one. Empower, okay, challenge. So yeah, it was really cool. So it's kind of funny too, because, you know, Guild Wars 2 is a big place. We just miss each other, but we might have all been recording on this server at the same time, but, you know, just all separate from one another. My bags are full. Does that make enough room? There we go. Okay, we're still gonna need to go to town. All right, town portal. Ain't it realized they're not good at advertising and pay the content creators? Dude, honestly, there were so many things that happened that I am so happy with the outcome. Let me give you an example. So they knew that a lot of information was coming out lately, right? So Thursday they were announcing the Twitch drops. Wednesday, Weeping Willow's video came out. Tuesday was patch day, and they had stuff coming out. Monday was Laura's video. So I was like, when do you want me to make this go live? And they said, would you please make it go public exactly at, now my time, 1 p.m. Saturday. And I was like, and inside I was a little bummed out, because historically, statistically, if I release a video on the weekends, it does worse. And I think the reason is, all of y'all precious gems watch my videos at work when your boss isn't looking, and I get more views on weekdays, on weekday mornings, than I do on weekends. Because on weekends, everybody's doing what they want to do. You know, they're not trapped in front of a computer. So I was like, oh man, yeah, I'd be happy to do that, whatever works. So I thought that the video would do worse because of that. However, a couple of things happened. One, I posted the video on my YouTube. They by their instructions, I put it on blast on Twitter, and then they immediately, you know, at like 1 o'clock I tweeted it, and at 1:05 they retweeted it. Like the main Guild Wars 2 account retweeted it, which got it a lot of eyes on it, which helps us both. And then after that, I was considering, like I put it on my Facebook page too, but that probably got like 5 views. I was considering going to the subreddit with it. And I was on the fence about it, because I have had a lot of bad experiences with the subreddit, chat. But I go to the subreddit, and I'm thinking about it. And then I see that someone has already posted, Mukluk just casually dropped the best new DLC teaser in the middle of his video like it's noting. And it already had like a whole bunch of updates. And I was like, oh. So I started reading the comments section, and it seemed like they actually liked it. Here's Noxie responding to some weird stuff. Yeah, what was this? Funding Noxie's virtual reality adventures. So, like, it was actually a pretty good thought. And so, yeah, it's noting, yeah. So I posted like, oh, hey, I was surprised to see this here, thank you. And like, I told him about it, and yeah, it's been cool. And because they had a link there, the video was getting more hits via the Reddit. So for the first time ever, the subreddit was actually helping me. Probably not by intention, but that's what happened. And so, you know, that was happening. And so now, despite the fact that according to my YouTube analytics, this is the worst time to post a video, it's actually number one of my last 10, like, hold on, if I refresh the page, there's this confetti on the dashboard. You only see this when you post a video that's better than your last 9 videos analytically. So I very rarely see the confetti. That was really, really good. And when I do, it's usually because of a news video. So I was thrilled, chat. I was thrilled. As I did not think that it was going to be that well received, because it was a terrible time to post it. As far as like, you know, when it's a good time to post it kind of thing. But yeah, it ended up working out. So I'm really happy with it. Like, I was just honestly, once I had like all of the details of like when they wanted it, I was just hoping it did okay. That's true. That's facts. I was just hoping it would do okay. It's kind of like, I recently released that video, the montage of me fighting Dracula for 7 hours, and Noxie did it to a beat, just like this video. And I love that video. I think she did a phenomenal job with it. It got 2,000 views, and it's been like a week. So, you know, that's a video I loved, but it just didn't get enough traction early on, so it didn't do well. So, you know, it's just kind of there at this point. So I was kind of afraid that was going to happen with this one, but it's done really freaking well. And so, like, that's good for ArenaNet. ArenaNet essentially spent money to have me do that. And I spent money on, well, I basically pay Noxie a flat rate, but basically I essentially spent money getting it professionally edited. And I do consider Noxie a professional at this point. And I'm really glad, like, I like to think that they will be happy with their investment because it's been, like, so well received. So, and then also, you know, honestly, it just feels good having people say that they like what you made. So, yeah, it's been cool. That's a lot of skeletons. Yep, that's the boys. Welcome to the Bone Zone. So, yeah, I would say it's been a good day for serotonin or dopamine or whatever the happy juice is. It's been a good day for them. So I've been answering lots of friendly questions like, oh, you know, what gloves are those? Or like, oh, what was the other one that was, oh, what music is that? You know, it was what was the, it was a remix, I believe, of the End of Dragon song. It was The Cycle Ends from the Dragon's End, but it was remixed. So, you know, I was posting that into a bunch of replies. And I was answering questions on YouTube and on Twitter and on the Reddit. So it was cool. It was really, really cool. So I'm glad it went well and got to participate in that. I love that green rat nervous. Like, yeah, dude, the Reddit thread is hilarious. It's like this one guy's just like, Hungarian editing rules! like he's just doing the horns. Like, there was a lot of really funny comments on there. But yeah, dude, I think Noxie got more praise in that thread than I did, and it's totally fine. Totally fine. Like, I essentially, like, I did all the recording and the storyboarding and stuff, but she stitched it together real freaking nice. But yeah, I was really glad that they like us. I had to send it to them. And what they said they were going to do, they said, okay, when you finish the project, you send it to us. And then we go through it. And then we will possibly do one round of edits to tweak things. And I said, okay. You know, and that's understandable, right? They want to make sure that I don't, like, leak something. Or they want to make sure that I don't put something inappropriate in there, probably. So I sent it to them. And then I didn't get an answer for like 3 days. And I was like, hey, this was like, you know, Wednesday at this point. I was like, hey, just checking in. If you need me to make any changes, I need to know because I need time to be able to make them. And my contact was like, I'm still waiting to hear back from one final person, but if I don't hear back from them today, just assume that it's good. And I'm like, okie dokie. And yeah, I guess we're good. Guess we're good. Fun fact, chat. I'm pretty sure I showed off some skins that aren't out in the game yet. But they didn't tell me to edit it out, so I'm curious, did any of y'all see it? One of the characters, one of them, was decked out in a set of gear I think nobody has ever seen. Because I found it when I was on the test server, and I was like, oh, this looks good, I'm gonna put this on. And I was like, you know, it's here, I've got it, I assume it's okay to use this. You know? Like, no one's telling me don't. They're like, Mukluk, no, and I'm like, Mukluk, yes! There's none of that.
That is worthless, anyway.
They might have been shown in the Bloom video. Oh, they might have, they might have. The halberd, yep, it was the human male. Let's see, hold on a second. Hold on. This guy. Look at his armor. It looks like stained glass. And it's got a cape and a halberd with what appears to be a stained glass blade. This set, I found it on the test server, and I was like, no one's stopping me. And I'm pretty sure that is either something in Janthier or if maybe it's a future gem store thing. I don't know, but it was like my